Hello everyone, this is David Campbell with Topcon Solutions, back again for another Bluebeam tips and tricks video. For today's video, we're going to cover making some smart tools. So I'm going to go ahead and get back into Bluebeam Revu. A couple of things I wanted to start off with, kind of starting from the basics here, is that any tool that you place, such as let's say a call out here, any tool that you place is going to benefit from associating it with a subject. Okay, and the subject in this case is just going to give us something to look for or filter for when we're going through our markups list here on the bottom. So let's say I wanted to make this a engineering comment. Okay, notice this is now an engineering comment. Now you'll notice if I go back up to tools, I go markup, I go call out again, it retains the information of the default callout. Okay, so it names it a callout again. If I want to be able to reuse this tool, this engineering tool that I have here, I can right click on this and then go ahead and add it to my tool chest. Maybe put it in my tools. Now you'll notice in my tools here I have several other tools such as the electrical comment here. Maybe I'll switch over to an architectural comment or a mechanical comment. Okay, again, these are retaining that information because I placed a subject with them, further kind of pushing up what information I want to really focus on with this markup or with these tools. Okay, notice this one is a note tool, same exact tool, I've just changed the symbol here and the subject for each one of these tools, just helping to kind of separate those tools a little bit. Now typically to add them into tool sets, would you combine these into one? Maybe. Most of the time I see a lot of different users having separate tool sets for different kind of tools, whether they are architectural, they're engineering, general contractors, anything like that, the different types of tools, maybe even an RFI. If I want to specify that this is going to be an RFI, I can do so just like that. Maybe change the color of this one too. I'll make it blue. Okay. And there we go. It is now an RFI comment. Okay. Another thing I really wanted to take a look at is instead of, just making your own tools, and I'm going to circle back around here again because I know there's a lot more information that I can cover with these and pushing more information into these tools. But in terms of manually creating some tools, one thing that you can do is use your snapshot tool. So right under edit, you'll find snapshot. Maybe I'll go ahead and grab this sign here. And then I'll hit Control V. This is going to go ahead and give me an exact copy of any image or symbol on your PDF document. And it allows you to really just recreate that as a tool. Now, I can go ahead and add this right into my tool chest, but I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm going to go ahead and hit Change Colors. I'm going to change my source color of black. Maybe I'm going to change that to red. Okay. Now, another thing that would be really nice with this, because I know this is a sign, I'm going to go ahead and go into my properties, and I'm going to change the subject of this from snapshot to sign. You know what? While I'm here, I know that this is a W11-2, so I'm going to go ahead and place this comment here, -2. Okay. And I'm going to store this into my tool chest. Notice that when I store this into my tool chest, every time I place it, it's going to apply with that comment. Okay, so there it is. Another kind of nice thing we can do with this is if you grab this tool in your tool chest and right-click on it, you'll see that you can also create a count tool from this. So if I wanted to go ahead and count how many of those signs that I may have. Now, it's telling me that I have 3, and you'll notice that this is one of the things that kind of, it's just one of those things that's kind of annoying, but you get to work around it. When you make a count tool, it automatically defaults the subject right back to count measurement. So if I wanted to change these, I can go ahead, get into the properties, right after you make it a count tool, and this is where I'll go ahead and call this a sign, maybe make this a W11-2. Okay, and again, now when I click it, it knows it's a sign and it's the W11-2 instead of just a regular count measurement. And you'll notice since I adjusted the properties in my tool chest, instead of just bringing them out here and then adding it back in, it does retain that information. Okay, so that is a nice way to go ahead and create some tools kind of quickly to be able to use. Now, another thing is I want to say is that we can push even more information with these tools. Now, let's say I want to use my count tool, okay? And what I want to do with this count tool is maybe I want to go ahead and make this either an existing or a new construction. So maybe we can go ahead and analyze what phase we'd be using this in. Now there's a couple different ways we can do this. One, let's go to our custom columns here under markups list, columns, manage columns. And you'll see it right up here next to display order in your tabs. This is where I can go ahead and add. And with these custom columns, you'll notice that you have 6 different types of custom columns: a check mark, choice, date, formula, number, text. This is just a way that we can either add more data into our markups or make them more easily recognizable or trackable in our markups list. So in this sense, I'm going to go ahead and add phase, say OK, and then OK. I'll find my sign there and go into my properties, and there it is. So these are going to be new construction. Okay, now let's go ahead and say I need a existing construction tool. So in this sense, I'm going to bring my markup back out, right click. I'm going to change the colors on this one. Instead of red, I'm going to go to a gray. Okay, now I'm going to add this after I change my my phase here, which we all know if I make this a count tool, it's going to pretty much override that, but I'm going to add this back into my tool set, okay? And from there, I can go ahead and create the count, get into my properties, say this is going to be a sign. We'll do W11-2, okay? And then scroll down again, and we will do existing. All right, so now you'll see we are tracking the existing or the new construction phase elements within our model. Very, very kind of rudimentary, but I just wanted to show you guys for a minute how easy it is to be able to push this data inside of these tools, right? You can push whether it's cost coding. Let's say we have an actual cost code for these the new construction signs here. I'd go columns, manage columns. Add. So a lot of times if you're going to export this out of Excel, you want something that your costing software is going to understand. So especially with something like these signs, if we put in a cost code, so let's say 2462, there it is. When I export this out into CSV summary, I can choose whatever columns I need to take. So if I have good identifiers in with these tools, something that, again, my pricing software can kind of run with, or it recognizes any codes that we typically use, we can go ahead and reutilize that here, push that data into these tools. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to show you guys before getting off of here. This is going to help with anyone either combining documents together to doing reviews, or for doing reviews, sorry, to anyone doing maybe takeoff and estimating. Now, you can do this either, like I said, when you're combining documents or when you're going to be pushing these documents up to a studio session, okay? So we all know layers, right? If you don't know anything about layers, I like to think about AutoCAD layers or Photoshop, Illustrator kind of functionality here, because we can go ahead and add in. Let's go ahead, add, oh, that was the wrong one. Add, and I'll just call this sign. Actually, you know what? We'll go existing, and then we'll go one with new construction. Okay. So with this, I can go ahead and grab these elements, some of my tools here. I'm going to hold down the Shift tool, grab these two. Okay. And I will put them right with, oh, there we go, the existing layer. Okay. I'll go ahead and grab these three. That's my count tool. So I'll put that on the new construction and put this one on the new construction layer. There we go. So you'll see with layers, essentially we can turn these items on and turn them off if they are based on that layer, right? So again, another good thing to do for when you're prepping this for takeoffs with multiple teams, or again, a design review, to kind of look for the specific information you're looking for. Now, I'm showing you this because if I take this tool, this count tool here, and I add it to my tool chest, and I'm going to put this into my tools, notice that when I hover over it, it keeps the layer information. So this does retain the layer information. My tools. This knows it is existing. So a lot of times I can see different users going ahead and creating tool sets with tools that are defaulting to specific layers that they have saved within their documents. You will have to create these layer setups, and you can export your layers. So we can save these out. So I can hit Save Configuration. Now, you can also, I want to say, show your export layers, reset your layers. Now, one thing I really want to talk about before I get off here is with the studio, okay, with studio sessions. Once you have the document up in a studio session, you cannot change anything about it, including the layer information. So a lot of times if I have a multiple reviewer process or a takeoff process with multiple people doing takeoffs, what I can do is, let's say I'm going to shut off my new construction layer, and I'm going to save this configuration. This is really saving this layer information into this document. In that sense, then it would be ready to go into the studio session. So I would adjust this before going into your studio session, send it out for whoever needs to get into it. When you pull it down, so you end that session, pull the document back, go ahead and turn that layer off, turn off your other layer, save that configuration again, and then go ahead and post it back up. So you can have multiple reviews from the same document, pulling all of the information that you may need, and you can go ahead and filter and sort for specific information, whether it is, the layer information, or it is a phase, or it's a cost code, anything like that. We can go ahead and pull that information from those markups, or at least see kind of where they are based off of information that we have posted or pushed into those markups. All right, so I hope this is beneficial for you guys. If you guys have any feedback on any potential other tips and tricks videos that you may want us to go ahead and push up, please just let us know. We are more than happy to help out as much as we can. All right, so again, my name is David Campbell, and thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you guys on another tips and tricks video.